Welcome back to my channel today. We explore the value of specific coins. First, the 1998 with D mint mark Roosevelt Dime. Its worth in fine condition. The 1998 D dime was minted in Denver and, like most dimes, it features President Franklin D. Roosevelt. These dimes are made from a copper-nickel composition, and hundreds of millions were minted that year. So, it's generally not considered rare. However, even common dimes can have some surprising value under certain conditions. So, if you have a 1998 D dime in fine condition, what's it worth? Today's market value for one in fine condition, which means there's visible wear but all main details are clear, is around 10 cents to 15 cents. Not exactly breaking the bank, but keep watching because there are ways these coins can be worth more. Now, let's talk about the cases when these dimes can really jump in value. For example, if you find one in uncirculated condition or with an error like a double die or misstrike, you're looking at higher values. Some error dimes have sold for over $100 depending on their rarity and condition. So, while the 1998 D dime in fine condition might not be a huge payday, it's still worth checking for any errors or pristine versions you might come across. Every coin is a piece of history, and some surprises can be hidden even in a common dime. The 1957 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition, even if it's a little dirty. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the famous Wheat Penny series, minted from 1909 to 1958. These pennies are called Wheat Pennies because of the two wheat stalks on the reverse side. 1957 was near the end of this era, so it's one of the more recent examples. So, what makes the 1957 Wheat Penny without a mint mark special? Well, no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. These pennies were mass-produced, so there are a lot of them out there. But here's where it gets interesting. Even in dirty extra fine XF condition, meaning it has some dirt or grime but still retains most of its sharp details, it can hold some surprising value. Let's break down what extra fine XF means. Coins in XF condition have light wear on the highest points, but most of the details are still visible. You can easily make out Lincoln's cheekbones and ear, and the wheat stalks on the back are crisp. Now, if your coin is dirty but still in XF condition, collectors still see it as valuable because the details are key. Alright, now, the big question, what's a 1957 Wheat Penny in dirty XF condition worth in today's market? Depending on the demand and where you're selling, the value for a penny like this could range anywhere between $0.10 and $0.50. But wait. Some collectors might pay up to $1 or more if they see potential in cleaning and preserving the coin. Why the variation in value? Well, because 1957 pennies aren't particularly rare, their value doesn't jump unless they're in mint state or have some unique error. But in XF condition, even with dirt, it still stands out to collectors who want to complete their Wheat Penny set or like coins with a bit of character. Next up, the 2015 with D mint mark Roosevelt Dime with the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. First, let's go over the basics. The 2015 Roosevelt Dime with a D mint mark was produced by the Denver Mint and millions were made. So unlike older dimes or error coins, these are quite common. Most of them are still worth just 10 cents. But here's the kicker. If you find one in near perfect condition or with certain errors, the value can increase. Condition is key. While coins in very good condition don't fetch high prices, collectors highly value coins in near mint states or better. A coin graded as mint state 67 or 68, for example, can be worth quite a bit more because collectors prize coins with few, if any, visible marks. So how much are we talking about? A 2015 D Roosevelt Dime, in average circulated condition, like very good, is usually valued at around 10 to 20 cents, so not much more than face value. However, coins that grade at MS67 can sell for $5 to $15, while MS68 coins can go for as much as $30 to $50, and if you're really lucky, an MS69 could potentially go for over $100, although those are extremely rare. But here's a hot tip. Keep an eye out for errors. coins with minting errors are often worth more. For example, a 2015 D Roosevelt Dime with a double die error, off-center strike, or another rare mint error could sell for hundreds of dollars, depending on the rarity and interest in that particular error. To sum it up, while a 2015 D Dime in very good condition might only be worth face value, finding one in near-perfect mint condition or with an error could give you a nice return. It's always worth examining your change for gems like these. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with the S mint mark. You won't believe how much this tiny piece of history can be worth in today's market. This unique penny was produced during World War II when copper was needed for the war effort. As a result, the U.S. Mint temporarily made pennies out of steel and coated them with zinc. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco, one of 3 mint locations at the time. So why is this penny so special? Well, for starters, steel pennies were only minted for 1 year, 1943, making them a limited time issue. But it's not just their rarity that makes them valuable. Coins in good condition, especially from the San Francisco Mint, are highly sought after by collectors. While over 190 million 1943 steel pennies were minted in San Francisco, finding one in fine condition, with minimal rust or wear, can still be a challenge due to the steel's tendency to corrode over time. Now, when we talk about a coin being in fine condition, what does that actually mean? In numismatic terms, fine refers to a coin that has moderate wear, but still retains a lot of its original detail. This means the lines of Lincoln's face are still clear, and most of the wheat stalks on the reverse side are still visible, even if slightly worn. So, what's the big question? How much is a 1943's Lincoln steel penny worth today? The value depends on its condition. In fine condition, this penny can fetch anywhere between $0.50 and $5. But the real value starts to climb when you move into higher grades, like extremely fine or uncirculated. An extremely fine 1943's steel penny can be worth $10 to $20, while an uncirculated example might sell for $40 to $100 or more. Next up, the 1991 with P mint mark Roosevelt Dime. The 1991 P Roosevelt Dime was minted in Philadelphia, which is why you see the P mint mark. While it may look like just an ordinary dime, certain factors could actually increase its value. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what makes this coin stand out, or if it even does. The 1991 P dime isn't made from silver. It's primarily a copper nickel-clad coin, just like most dimes minted from 1965 onward. That means its melt value is quite low. But we aren't just looking at the metal content. Condition, rarity, and demand in the collector's market are huge factors in determining its true worth. Now, condition is key. When we talk about extremely fine or XF, we're talking about a coin that shows only slight wear on the highest points. With an XF grade, the details are still very sharp, though a bit of wear is noticeable. This is considered a very collectible grade because it shows the coin is well preserved. Alright, so what is this dime actually worth? Generally, if you have a 1991 P dime in extremely fine condition, it's likely worth more than face value to a collector. On average, we're talking about a value range between 30 cents to $1.50 for typical examples in XF condition. However, this can fluctuate depending on market demand. But here's where it gets interesting. If your 1991 P dime has any sort of minting error, that's where the value can really start to climb. Look out for things like off-center strikes, double dies, or any planchet errors. These kinds of dimes can sometimes sell for significantly more, anywhere from $20 to $100, depending on the error. So, if you're looking to sell your 1991 P dime, where should you go? Online marketplaces like eBay or collector forums are popular options. Coin shops or local coin shows are also great places to connect with collectors who might pay a premium for certain conditions or errors. Always remember to get multiple opinions on the value, especially if you think you have a rare error. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark, in extremely fine condition. How valuable is it? Most of you are probably familiar with the famous 1943 steel penny produced when the US Mint needed copper for World War II. But did you know? Some steel pennies were accidentally produced in 1946, a few years after the war ended. These coins are extraordinarily rare, making them highly sought after by collectors today. Now, what makes the 1946 steel penny without a mint mark even more valuable? It's its rarity. Most pennies after 1943 returned to being made of copper, so any steel penny minted by mistake after this period is exceptionally scarce. The absence of a mint mark means it was produced in Philadelphia, which only adds to its intrigue for collectors. When determining the value of a coin, condition is key. An extremely fine grade means that while the coin shows some light wear, most of the original detail remains sharp. You can still see the fine details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse, making this coin a standout among its peers. Alright, now for the big question, what's it worth today in extremely fine condition? A 1946 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark can fetch anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 in today's market, depending on the demand and the buyer. Some top-grade coins have even sold for over $60,000 at auctions. So, if you happen to come across a 1946 steel penny, don't underestimate it. It could be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned numismatist, finding one of these rare coins could be a game changer. Next up, the 1992 US dime with D-mint mark, especially in extra fine condition. First, let's take a look at the coin itself. The 1992 dime, minted in Denver, features the iconic image of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, designed by John R. Sinek. The reverse showcases a torch flanked by an olive branch and a bundle of arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. Coin condition plays a crucial role in determining value. The term extra fine refers to a grade where the coin shows minimal wear, with clear details and some remaining luster. Coins in this condition are highly sought after, and the 1992 dime is no exception. So, what's the value of a 1992 dime in extra fine condition today? As of current year, this coin can fetch between $5 and $10 in most markets. However, prices can vary based on factors like demand, rarity, and the specific market you're looking at. In recent years, we've seen some sales reaching up to $20, especially for those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved coins, which adds to the overall market excitement. In summary, the 1992 dime with a dime mint mark in extra fine condition is not only a piece of history, but also a valuable addition to any coin collection. Its market value may fluctuate, but its significance remains strong among collectors. Next up, the most valuable 1947 steel Abraham Lincoln penny without mint mark. How much is it worth today? The Lincoln steel penny is famous, but here's something interesting. Steel pennies were officially only minted in 1943 during World War II, when copper was reserved for war supplies. So why are we talking about a 1947 steel penny? These coins are highly unusual, likely experimental or rare misstrikes. And with no mint mark, it means it was made in Philadelphia. Now, coins in poor condition might not seem valuable at first glance. In fact, the dirtier and more worn they look, the less valuable they typically are. But don't lose hope just yet. Collectors still hunt for coins like these due to their rarity, especially error coins or experimental pieces like a 1947 steel penny without a mint mark. The 1947 steel penny without a mint mark is incredibly rare. It's not part of the regular US mint production, so these coins are likely errors. And even though it might look like it's seen better days, rarity can still give it significant value in today's market. So, how much can a dirty, very old 1947 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark be worth in today's market? Well, in its best possible condition, this rare error coin could fetch thousands of dollars, sometimes even up to $10,000 or more at auction, depending on interest and demand. But in dirty, worn or very old condition, its value could range anywhere between $200 to $1,000. Keep in mind, much of this depends on the exact condition and the demand among collectors for error coins. Next up, the US coins the 1998 silver dime with D mint mark, its worth in today's market. First, let's look at the basics. The 1998 dime, also known as the Roosevelt Dime, was minted as part of the US Mints series honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now, most dimes are made of a copper-nickel alloy, but the ones minted before 1965 were made of 90% silver. However, the 1998 dime we're focusing on has a D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The value of the 1998 D dime can vary significantly based on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Here's how the grading system works. So, what's this dime worth today? In good condition, the 1998 D dime typically sells for around $1 to $2. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition or graded as MS65 or higher, you could see prices ranging from $5 to $15 or even more, depending on demand and market fluctuations. Rarely, you might find one selling for upwards of $20 if it's in exceptional condition or has a unique feature, so it's always worth getting your coins appraised. Next up, the 1977 with D mint mark dime. If you're a collector or just curious about coin values, you won't want to miss this. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1977 dime is part of the Roosevelt Dime series, which was introduced in 1946. These dimes were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with the D mint mark indicating it was struck in Denver. Now, the 1977 dime contains 90% silver and 10% copper, making it a significant piece for silver bullion investors. In terms of weight, each dime contains about 0.0772334 ounces of silver. This means that as silver prices fluctuate, so does the value of these dimes. When it comes to valuing a 1977 D dime, condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state, MS70. A coin in fine condition will show some wear, but still retain much of its detail. Let's break down the values based on grading. In today's market, a 1977 D dime in fine condition is valued at around $2 to $3, primarily due to its silver content. However, if you find one in uncirculated condition, its value can jump significantly, reaching upwards of $10 to $15 or even more, depending on collected demand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you in the next video.